Hi guys, it's David here from Rated South Africa. Today we're going to be reviewing the Apple iPhone X or the iPhone 10, whichever you want to call it. And I'm really excited to be doing this review because I've been waiting for a long time to get my hands on the iPhone X. I'm truly excited because Apple have changed the design of it. They've introduced some new elements to the phone, and for me personally, I think the phone looks stunning with its 5.8-inch display. We're going to be talking about the new Super AMOLED display. We're going to look at the camera quality. We're going to look at how well the phone functions. We're going to look at the facial recognition. I even have myself the earpods, and that's really interesting, and I think you guys are going to enjoy how it works. So immediately we know with the iPhone X, guys, there are some design changes that have been made. It's completely reimagined. There's no center button. They've included facial recognition software to it. It's got the Super Retina HD display, and they've borrowed some technology from Samsung, and they've got an OLED display. But Apple have stayed true to Apple, iconic Apple. We can still see that it has the rounded edges. It's really shiny though. It looks so smart that I would love to use this phone without a cover, but I know that that's being unreasonable, because even if I drop this phone from 30 centimeters, it's gonna fall and it's gonna crack, and I'm gonna really kick myself, because it is the most breakable iPhone out there right now. So if you are getting this phone, please make sure that you get a cover, or if you want to risk it, you can carry it without a cover, but hey, you're living life on the edge. Another major design change was the orientation of the camera. It's now vertical opposed to being horizontal. And I guess a lot of concerns that people had with this was, what if our fingers get in the way while we taking a video or while we taking a picture? And to be honest, I was concerned about this in the beginning, but when I started using the phone and I reminded myself about the orientation of the camera, I remembered that it's now vertical and not horizontal, and my fingers never got in the way. And just in case you're wondering what that little hole is between the two cameras, that's one of three speakers that this phone actually has. So it enables you for a much crisper, clearer audio while videoing, of course. With the OLED screen, the one thing you'll notice is if you tilt the phone slightly off its axis, the screen does change to a slight bluish hue, but that's not restricted only to Apple. It's across the board on any device that has OLED screens on them. Obviously, we can see that Apple still have not added a earphone jack. And guys, the truth is that the world is going wireless, and most manufacturers now are going to stick to wireless headphones. And I've got the earpods with me, so I'm going to show you how that works, and I think you guys are really going to like it. For a 5.8-inch screen, I expected the phone to be a little bit more bulkier, but it actually wasn't. It actually kind of looks a lot smaller compared to other devices, but in actual fact, it's Apple's biggest screen ever. It's 5.8 inches, and it works really well. It feels extremely comfortable. The only drawback that I can think about right now is the reachability function. And remember, previously, you would double tap the center button, and this would enable you to access those applications that are further up the screen. It would actually bring the screen halfway down, and you can now access those applications. Now, reachability is a very deliberate action where you swipe midway down the menu bar. There we go, and that enables the screen to come down, and you can now access those applications. However, I did struggle with this, as you can see. Maybe it's just something that I need to get used to, and I need to learn the technique. It's not so much of an issue. So while we're on the topic of reachability and screens, I want to talk about the control center. And it's not as easy as it might seem, because on previous Apple models, you could do it with one hand by swiping from the bottom up, but now you have to access it by swiping from the top right-hand corner all the way down, and this would give you that quick menu. So let's face it, guys. The first thing that we look at when we want to buy a new phone right now is, what is the camera like? And Apple have nailed the camera on the iPhone X. It's one of the best, if not the best, camera quality on the market right now, and I don't think that anything compares to this. Just look at the slow-mo video recording at high definition 1080p. It records at 120 frames per second, and it even allows you to record at 240 frames per second. So if you're an outdoor person, you like outdoor sports, you're going to get some amazing shots with this phone in slow-mo. Secondly, if we look at the 4K video resolution, it's now recording as well at 60 frames per second, so you get a much more crisper and cleaner shot of whatever you're videoing. I mean, just look at this, it speaks for itself. So while we're watching these amazing videos, let's talk a little bit about what makes this phone tick. And at its core is Apple's A11 Bionic chipset with the M11 Motion Core processor and 64-bit architecture. The CPU is Apple's hexa-core 2.39 GHz CPU, and the graphics is 3-core graphics, and it's Apple's own graphics processing unit. The internal memory on this phone, guys, you have two distinct flavors, the 64 gig, 256 gig, and they're both running off 3 gigs of RAM. Now here's the thing though, personally I would highly recommend that if you're in the market for this phone, go for the 256 gigs, because remember, the phone's recording in such high resolution, it's going to start using up a lot of space, and I can promise you one thing, very soon 64 gigs is actually going to feel like 2 gigs, because I'm using 128 gig at the moment. I take out a ton of pictures and videos, especially that I have kids and I'm always videoing them. They're always doing something funny and fun, and I'm taking out tons of pictures, guys, and I promise you I'm always fighting for space. And the truth is, we always want to keep our pictures and videos easily accessible, because we want to either look back at them or we want to share them with friends and family. And I found that the more space we have on our phone, the better it actually is. So yeah, 256 gigs, I highly recommend that. The next feature we'll get to is toggling through apps, and once again, because there's no center button, it's a very swift, deliberate motion. You swipe up maybe midway through your screen, and then you swipe through the right, and that should open up all the applications or windows that you have open, and then you can easily toggle through them and access whatever it is that you're looking for. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you play around with it, it shouldn't be a train smash at all. I found it actually quite comfortable and really easy. So I thought a nice way to demonstrate this phone's amazing full screen mode is by looking at a YouTube video. So I'm just searching for YouTube on the internet now, because I haven't downloaded any applications on the phone. And again, you'll notice that the notch is highly visible, but it doesn't bother me, because for me it's now become a distinct iPhone X feature, and at a glance, if somebody looks at the phone, they can distinguish that it's an iPhone X and not a Samsung Galaxy or a Huawei or any other smartphone device that's on the market at the moment. So that's become a distinct Apple feature. Also, guys, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about Rate It on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked out my YouTube channel, please go and check it out. I'd really appreciate the support. So it's really simple to get it into full screen mode. You turn the phone onto landscape view, it automatically adjusts the video size. You can tap the screen once more, and there's an expand button that's on YouTube, and it'll expand the video to full screen mode. I don't mind the bezels on either side, because the bezels are so reduced and so small, it actually kind of looks really good. I also prefer this over Samsung's Infinity Edged display for some reason. I'm not a huge fan of the Infinity Edge display. I prefer the display that Apple have opted, which is a slight bezel on either side of it. Next up, let's look at Apple AirPods. Now here I had a bit of mixed reactions when it came to the AirPods, because I didn't understand maybe the need for wireless earphones, but now using it and actually seeing it in all its glory, it's actually really cool. And when you look at other huge manufacturers out there that make headsets, you'll find that everybody's going wireless. So you know what, it's the way of the future, and I guess we have to embrace it. Unboxing the AirPods was pretty simple. It's iconic Apple, it's really simple, easy, everything's where it should be. Comes with some instruction manuals. I mean, who reads those anymore, right? So this is the AirPod capsule. It has a dual function, because not only does it protect your AirPods, but it also serves as the charging station for your for your AirPods. So you just plug the entire your charger into this device and it would charge it up. I really like this packaging that it comes in. It reminds me of a sumo wrestler for some reason. And there you have it, Apple AirPods. So setting up the AirPods, I think, couldn't be easier. It's as simple as switching on your Bluetooth and connecting it. And I'm going to show you exactly how easy this actually is now. So you just flip open the case. You press the connect button. There's a tiny button at the back of it. You hold this down literally for 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds, I guess. And boom, it's connected. So some interesting things about the AirPods. Now, firstly, the AirPods have a proximity sensor in it, which means it can now detect when it's in your ear or not. And the advantage of that is if you're watching a video or listening to music and if somebody is coming to talk to you, instead of pulling out your phone to press pause, you simply remove the AirPod and it will automatically pause whatever you're listening to. And as soon as you insert it back into your ear, it would resume whatever you're doing, your music or your video. So really cool feature. So next, let's look at Apple's facial recognition setup. And it was really easy to actually set up. I expected it to be a lot more difficult. I expected the process to be tedious, but to my surprise, it actually wasn't. So I'm going to demonstrate exactly how it works now. And yeah, just watch and I hope you guys enjoy. And it's as easy as that, guys. It works so well. I think I made the process a lot more harder than it actually was by keeping my head in this really awkward position. And I did think that the software would struggle a little bit, even though because I wear glasses, I guess, but it actually didn't. So at the moment, the software is projecting about 30,000 infrared dots around my face, and it's measuring contours and depth and color and tracking my eye movement. And yeah, it stores it in its cloud database, and let's see how it works. Absolutely seamless, easy, and I love the whole process behind it. It really, really does work. So guys, that brings us to the end of our review, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Let's just recap some of the features and the pros and the cons about the phone. Remember, some of the cons were that reachability doesn't work that great, but look, you probably have to get used to it. And I don't like the new control center accessing it from the top right hand corner opposed to a one-handed movement previously where you would swipe from the bottom up. But besides that, I really can't fault the phone too much. It is an Apple have redesigned, they've reimagined the phone, and I know it's going to get better and better from here because this is exactly what Apple does. And if it's a preview of things to come, I'm super excited. And the one thing that I love about cellular phones, guys, it encompasses all the technology around the world and it puts it right into the palm of our hands, and that is truly amazing. So thank you for giving us an amazing phone, Apple, and I know we're really going to enjoy it. So everything works on the phone, guys. The video quality is amazing, and if you're somebody who spends a lot of time on social media, or if you're just an active social media individual, you're on Facebook and Instagram like myself, you're really gonna love this phone. The picture quality is great, the video quality is amazing. But remember, guys, when you're buying a phone, ask yourself the right questions. What are you using your phone for? What's your primary use? I know we're going to make calls or send texts or use it on WhatsApp, but what are the other features that you're going to use on a phone? Do you love taking out pictures? Do you like taking out videos? Are you active on social media? And if you answer yes to that, look for a phone that has good picture quality, that records nice video, something with good memory, so you can get the most out of your device. Because one of the things that a lot of people do is that they buy a device and realize that it doesn't match their needs or doesn't do what they actually want it to do, and you're stuck with this phone for the next 2 years. If you've taken it on contract or if you've bought it cash, you're down like 10 to 20,000 rands. So guys, thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching the videos. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you think about the iPhone X, and stay tuned because we've got a ton more tech reviews coming up. I've got some really exciting products that I'm going to be bringing to you guys. So once again, thank you very much and stay cool.